Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 59 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so what's in the magazine? There's an article about the Belgic and the Gaelic. They were technically sister ships, although I think it was the Gaelic was 50 feet longer than the Belgic. Yeah, that's right. Just checking the article there. Again, some more of the kind of adverts, the White Star Line put out. Again, some more artwork relating to White Star, and then an article on Irene Corbett, who was a Mormon missionary. Okay, she went down with the ship. So whatever her mission was, we will never know. But yeah, that's it for the magazine. So let's have a look at what's in today's box. Okay, so what's in today's box? The usual brown packets. Go with the smallest one first, will we? In here we have the pieces for the davits and the bits that connect to the boats themselves. We also have 4 lifeboats. We have the canvas pieces to go over the top of the lifeboats. And last, but by no means least, we have a couple of vents and we have the mounting points for the davits. Now sadly, this isn't even the last we'll be seeing of these lovely davits. There are more in a future issue. But first and foremost, what I'm going to do is sort through all these parts so I know which bit's which, and as usual, put the black inside the vents. So I will do that, and I'll be back in just a tick. Okay, so that's all the pieces sorted. So the first thing we're doing is putting the tarps over the top of the lifeboats. Now they should fit on reasonably easily. For some reason this one doesn't seem to like that bolt. I'll try another one. Okay, and these pieces insert into the holes on the boat through the holes on the tarp. Now we're not to glue these in, and we're not to glue the tarps on either. So it looks like that. We're doing exactly the same with the other boats. I've noticed that in the previous issues the tarps clipped in reasonably well. And this one they don't appear to. They don't clip in well at all. That one's gone in now, but I don't know if it's just because it's been sitting in this room, the heat's got to it. As I've mentioned a couple of times, my room here is rather warm. That one's gone on quite nicely, quite a nice snug fit. So I don't know if the plastic has just been warped by the heat in the room. I thought I counted these. Now there appears to be one missing. Now that was to make a point. And that point is, with these horrible brown paper envelopes, the plastic sticks to them. And you can't see if there's anything there. So that's why when you lay your parts out at the start, it is so important to make sure everything is there. Because say I'd gone and stuck that in the outside bin, yeah, we'd be in big problems. So that's all 4 of those lifeboats done, leaving just 4 more to do in a future issue. So now we're actually going to need the deck piece that we've been working on. So I'll go and get that over and I'll be back in just a second. Actually, I have decided I'm not going to do that. Because what it wants me to do is bring the deck over, fit these vents, then put the deck away again, build 3 of these davits, bring the deck back over, fit them to the deck, put the deck away, build another 2. Nah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to build all the davits, then I'm going to bring the deck over and do all the work that's required. Simply because I think that makes more sense. So I'm going to need some glue. Again, the glue that I use is this Glue It from the range. It's vacuum sealed, so it's not supposed to get stuck inside this tube the same, but spoiler alert, it does. So just give me a second. Okay, so the glue has in fact got stuck inside the nozzle the way it's not supposed to. But anyway, so put some into my little tub, screw the lid back on. So the first thing we need is one of these davit bases. See, there are 2 different ones. This one has 4 holes in the middle. This one only has 2. There are 2 of these and 3 of these. So it's the one there are 3 of you need first. And sitting it like this, with that dot facing that way, we are taking one of the davits that look like this, and they have the studs vertically opposed. Now it's going, with this facing this way, it's going on top, and then we're taking one of the davits where the pins are horizontally opposed and gluing it onto the other side, like that. So it does need a spot of glue to hold it together, just because the fit isn't quite snug enough. Again, using my glue applicator here. Now, as far as the davits go, there are 5 with the pins vertically opposed and 3 with the pins horizontally opposed. So again, just make sure you're putting them in the right places and you won't go wrong. Okay, so that's the first one. Doing 3 more like that, so I'll get them done and I'll be back in just a tick. Okay, so that's those 3 now complete. Again, it tells me at this point to bring the deck over and fit them, and then take the deck away to build the other 2. I'm not going to do that. So what we need to do now is take these 2 pieces, and we need to have one sitting that way and one sitting the other way. Okay? Now that's important because one goes at one end of the bolt rack and the other goes at the other, essentially. So if they're both facing the same way, it's going to look silly. In fact, it's not going to be right. The arm's going to be on the wrong side of one of them. So all we're doing is a little bit of glue in here. And as long as you've got one on one side and one on the other, it won't be an issue. Just make sure, because the davit itself has one small peg and one large peg, so it will only fit the right way on the deck. So as long as you have one with the arm on each side, you're going to be fine. It won't fit in the wrong slot. And the last piece of davitry in there, like that. And that is the 5 davits. And we also have the vents. So now it is time to bring over the deck. So the davits are easy enough to know where you're putting them. It's just the vents that will require a little bit of detective work. So I'll move everything back. And here is our exceptionally long deck piece. Now, the vents, I believe, are going on sort of midship section. Yes, they are. They're going on in this area. Now, the first one, which looks like this, again, small pin and a large pin, it's going into these 2 holes here. You can just see there in that corner. Again, it will only fit the correct way because of the way the pins are designed. Now it tells you to glue it if you have to. You're not going to have to, because I can barely get this to actually go in itself without any glue. So you're going to be absolutely fine. Again, just make sure you're putting it in the right way. The next vent it wants is this one, where the pins are vertically opposed, and it's going into this hole here, these 2 holes just beside that small staircase. Again, can only go one way. The final vent is going on the other side, beside the other set of stairs just here. Again, the pins look like that, so you can only put it in the correct way, and you can only put the correct vent in the correct place. Very cleverly designed. So that's it for the vents. I'm still not happy with the way that one's sitting, but that's better now. Yep, that's it. Okay, so now on to the davits. And the davits are, I believe, the starboard side. So this side, sorry, the port side, so this side here. Now we're taking the 3 davits that we made with 2 arms on it. And if you see that peg that I mentioned earlier, it always goes to the back. So that's the easiest way to remember. And we're just inserting these into the deck. They should go in all the way down. If you're struggling to get it in, do apply a bit of pressure, but don't apply too much because you don't want to snap the pegs off. Again, the next one goes into the next hole back. Now what I'm finding is it's a very, very tight fit. Now that's because I used the wood glue to put the deck down. And the third one is going in just here. Okay, now when we're fitting these again, the pegs will go to the back. You need to make sure that the arm is facing in the way. So this one will go on the end here. So if you put it in the wrong hole, you'll end up with the arm facing away from that last bolt, and that's not what you want. Again, this last one goes in just here, like that. And that's all we have to do for stage 59. So we've got those vents in and we've got those davits in. Now that's almost us done with davits, you'll be pleased to hear. We do have this roll for the starboard side, but then that's us. So that's issue 59 all done. Okay, so that's us all done for issue 59. What's coming in issue 60? The second class entrance. So the last kind of piece of deck housing for the boat deck. And that will conclude us for this month's issues. And again, I'll pick it up just to show you, but that is the size of the boat deck just now, and that's the bit we were working on there with the davits. So yeah, looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting the boat deck finished and get moving on the hull again, which is what we're doing starting from stage 62, I believe it is. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Any feedback, comments, criticisms, do drop them below. If you like what you see, please leave me a like and consider subscribing to be updated with future content. But as always guys, thanks for watching. Join me for the next part, and as always, peace out.